You cannot get started without this step. Before you ever think about getting your finances in order, the first thing you need is a budget. 60% of Americans don't even have a budget to begin with. The main reason budgets fail is because we try to treat ourselves like robots. You wouldn't be human without emotion. Flat tire is real. Getting laid off is real. Your transmission going out is real. Structure like this here is going to make you feel confident pretty fast. What it do, family? We got a special, important one today. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today, I want to talk budgets. You cannot get started without this step. It's like the baby step. You know, when you're a baby, you got to crawl first. This is where you crawl. Before you ever think about getting your finances in order or what you can do to increase your income, the first thing you need is a budget, right? I know it's a word we don't like to hear. You know, I tried to budget Ryan a year back. It just didn't work out for me. Honestly, I just save my money. I get it. A lot of times when we make these budgets, they don't really fit us, right? We're either going off of somebody's template or transcript or video that we had watched, as opposed to sitting down and taking out the time to figure out a budget that's going to fit us. And that's what I'm here to help you guys out with today. So today I'm going to show you a budget that fits me, accounts for emotion, you can apply in real life, and even uses AI for some of the heavy lifting. Before we even get there, you know, if you have a budget or if you try to have a budget, or if you're looking at this video, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. Because studies show 60% of Americans don't even have a budget to begin with. So if you're even thinking about a budget, or if you're going to implement what you learned in this video today, you already had a 60% of the pack. So kudos to you. The main reason budgets fail is because we try to treat ourselves like robots. Listen, you are human. And what makes you human is what? Emotion. You wouldn't be human without emotion. Listen, a lot of these companies, they pour billions of dollars into their marketing department or the ads department to play on the human mind, to play off the human's emotions. So don't feel discouraged if you had a budget, or it's times where, you know, you see that shoe in the mall or that deal, the discount deal, the buy one get one free on a specific item. It speaks so much to you and you just like, you know what, I gotta have it. Listen, you gotta understand, that was something strategic from whatever company was pushing that. So don't feel bad if you had done that. The reason why we want to create a budget is because we are going to take into account that we're humans and we need to be in control of our emotions. So the budget is going to place a restriction in front of any of those impulses that you get. So even when you do get the impulse, the budget is there. We got the restriction. So no matter how good that ad is or how strong the punch those companies are throwing when it comes down to those ads and those deals, listen, we bobbing and weaving because we got the budget. All right, so first things first, with this budget, we need to start off with our non-negotiables. For many of us, that's rent or the mortgage, the car payment, car insurance, phone bill, the list goes on, right? Your non-negotiables that we need, right? Groceries as well too, we gotta eat. So with that being said, I know a lot of us are receiving a paycheck. We are W-2 employers, so we're receiving a paycheck from our employees. You need to figure out, okay, how much it is that I'm getting from my employer every 2 weeks or 1 week, whatever your frequency of getting paid is, right? And then we need to figure out those non-negotiables. What percentage of my net pay needs to go towards these non-negotiables, right? Cool. That's step one. My percentage is 50% of my paycheck, right? So 50% of my paycheck, and I'm going to create a separate video on this. I think it's a great tool. When I go into my HR hub, you know, and a lot of us were able to do this. You just may not be aware. And some of us are aware, we're not just taking advantage of it. But you are able to disperse or diversify, I should say, which accounts your paycheck goes into. So I have a separate account that is strictly for those non-negotiable bills, where I don't even have a debit card for that account. So there's no extra spending outside of what I have on auto pay. So as far as rent, as far as the car payment, as far as car insurance, all those good things go towards a specific account that I do not have a physical debit card for. And in turn, I then put it on auto pay. 10 times out of 10, your auto pay payment, as long as the funds are in the account, is going to go through. We're good there. Automation is always going to be discipline, right? Listen, don't get me wrong. Discipline is going to be something very, very important in this journey. But if you have things automated, right, you don't even need to be disciplined because you built a system for those specific needs. Number two, second part about building a budget. I told you guys we're human. We got emotions. Listen, I know it's part of the culture. It's part of the trends. You know, I'm locked in. You know, I'm on the grind. You know, no parties, no sleep, no nothing, no fun until I got funds. I get it. Listen, I'm part of that culture as well too. But at some point, treat yourself. You want to have fun. Listen, most people fail at budgeting for this number one reason because they never took into account this fact that they want to have fun. You need to create a lane for that. When I mention a budget that fits you and I built one that fits me, it's taking into account all of our needs. And one of those things is simply being fun. Listen, we're only here for a time being. Take some time out to have fun. I know a lot of us are on the grind right now. So for me personally, I've got a fun card. Listen, and that's about 10% of my paycheck. 10% of my paycheck for when it might be a night when I'm saying, you know what, I have food at the house, but I want to DoorDash some Wingstop. I want to get some lemon pepper steppers, some lemon pepper wings. Shout out to Wingstop. I got a fun card for, hey, if the men, the boys, they want to go out, you know what? I've been working these past 3 weeks and staying down. You know what? I'll come out with y'all. You know, I got a fun budget for that, you know? Fun budget, it could be for your haircut, you know? I might need a haircut every 2 weeks, but you know, this time I want the haircut after 10 days. I want to keep it fresh. We need to take into account that sometimes we want to be human, we want to treat ourselves, right? If you on the grind, please treat yourself. All right, so we've knocked out step 1 and 2. Now it's time for step 3. Pay future you, right? The best person to take care of future you is you right now. Shout out to Smart Money Bro for that tip there. Check his page out. Listen, after bills and fun, the rest of your income should be funding your future, right? We need to start thinking about the future. We need to account for the fact that you are going to continue to age. We're going to be optimistic here. With that being said, if you're in your 30s or 40s watching this video, I'm pretty sure you've said, hey, if I would have started in my 20s, I'd be at XYZ spot. The list goes on, right? In your 60s, you may be saying the same thing. And if you're 20 years old looking at this video, you might have said, hey, if I got started at 16, 25, the list goes on. You get what I'm saying, right? We need to account for the fact that we are going to age, right? So for me personally, I have a 20, 10, and 10. I have a 20% investment bucket where essentially it's like, hey, if it's a real estate opportunity or simply I know a friend might come to me with a business idea or I want to invest in a stock, the list can go on. That's for my investments. 10% is for investing in me. You Inc., you.com. Listen, you are the one. You are a business. You need to understand that. So with that being said, you need to pour into your business, right? That for whatever it is that whoever it is you are, that might mean another number of things. Me, I'm in sales, so investing in myself may be going and taking a sales course. It might be getting a certification. It might be studying up on product knowledge. Listen, that might be investing in a leadership course, a public speaking course. Listen, you need to invest in yourself and your skills at all times. We are in the times of AI, and I'm not here to say that AI is going to take your job, but what AI will do is it will create a gap between people who have taken out time to sharpen up on their personal skills, because what AI does is take away the emotional aspect of things. So people that are able to connect with you on an emotional level, or simply put, continue to hone up on skills that an AI bot is not able to do, they will set themselves apart. So you need to always be investing into yourself and your personal skills. And I have a bucket for that. The last 10 is emergency fund. Listen, flat tire is real. Getting laid off is real. Your mother getting laid off is real. Your brother getting laid off is real. Your transmission going out is real. The list goes on, right? Listen, one of those things are going to happen, right? Life is not peaches and cream. At some times we have bumps in the road. You need to be able to have a bucket or some cushion to be able to say, hey, when I go over that bump, I won't just crash, right? I won't crash. My empire won't fall. Listen, we have a little cushion. Okay, cool. We got hit with that. It's all good. We bounce back because we got this. Listen, they hit us with that punch. Boom. Okay, cool. We bob because we have 1,500 here for that broken transmission, right? Research shows it takes about 2 to 3 months to find a new job if you were to be fired or laid off. So I would say if you have 3 months of expenses put to the side, you should be more than okay, right? I will say as well too, like I said, there will be a separate video for this, but after 3 months, you don't really want to go too far. Listen, we don't want to have idle money sitting around. So 6 months of expenses put aside. Kudos to you, but I would recommend probably having that other 3 months be put into vehicles that are going to yield you back some results. But like I said, we can touch on a separate video. Okay, cool. Now step 4, we are going to set our percentages. Listen, here is my percentages right here. These are all my breakdowns. Less than half of Americans feel confident about their personal finances. Structure like this here is going to make you feel confident pretty fast. Okay, cool. Now we are on to step 5. This is where things get fun. You're wondering probably, Ryan, how can I go about getting percentages myself? I know I had identified what my non-negotiables are. I've identified that I need to have a bucket for fun. I've identified that I need to have a bucket for paying future me. But how do I go about getting these percentages? I don't feel like sitting down all day. I got you. Don't worry. Listen, if you're watching this video, we are in the 21st century. And I'm not talking Allen Iverson. We are in the times of AI. Listen, no longer the days we need to pull out your spreadsheet. You need to pull out an Excel sheet and sit down for 2 hours and write here. And this is what I put here. No, plug it into AI. It's a plug and play resource. Please leverage it. It is not here to take your job. But that's another topic for another day. Okay, cool. So now we've identified what are our non-negotiable expenses each month. We're going to throw that, we're going to keep that number to the side. If you would like to leverage AI, throw that into the AI chatbot. And now we can say, okay, cool. Based off of this, I want to throw this percentage here, this percentage here, this percentage here, depending on whether you want to do 20% fund, 20% self-investments, and then a 10% in emergency. Listen, everyone's percentages are going to vary. The purpose of this video is for you to simply build out a plan that works for you, right? And the cool part about this, listen, the best part about creating a budget is also being able to see the holes that are in your plan, right? So when you sit down and you're able to see, okay, this is how much I have left over after I'm paid. For some of us, we might not be happy about that number. That's completely okay. You can always increase your income. You can always improve on your skills to be able to earn that promotion. You can always improve your skills to also make a lateral movement to another role. You can always, the list goes on. You can always improve and do something on the side. The point I'm trying to make is this here is going to show you, okay, cool. I'm not really happy after I've done this and I see I only have $60 left for fun a month. I might need 150 to have fun. So with that being said, now we need to make a couple little changes. That's the coolest part about this, right? Like I said, we are trying to gain structure. Outer order yields inner peace. Let me say that again. Outer order yields inner peace. That is why we are trying to build this structured out plan, right? Listen, step 7, stick to it. This is why I think number 2 is so important, because we built out a system for us that took into account that we are human, right? So listen, if you like to get haircuts, if you like to buy shoes, if you like to do X, Y, and Z, it's very, very important that you take this into account in your budget. And if there's things that you needed to cut out because of what you've seen after you've taken your non-negotiable expenses, please do that. But we need to stick to it. Stick to it for about 6 months, see how it goes. Stick to it for 3 months, see how it goes. Stick to it 4 months. Over time, you'll be able to say, hey, okay, cool, I didn't like how this looks, so we're gonna make a change here. We built out a system that took into account all of our wants and needs, and now it's time for us to simply apply it. That's the only way we're going to see the results from it, is if we stick to this and we apply it. Cool, now if you made it to this part of the video, you are locked and loaded, you got your budget ready, I'm proud of you. Now it's time to apply it. Now it's time to stick to it. Listen, like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any suggestions, feel free to leave them below. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Take it easy.